Hi, I'm Glenn. This is Reset Your Journey. Let's talk about why we have a Ford F250 to pull our outdoors RV. When I first started looking for this truck, I had no idea what I was looking for. I didn't understand weight capacities, cargo amounts, and gross combined weight meant nothing to me. And that really brings me to this point where it is so important that you take the time and learn everything you can about towing and how much weight a truck can handle before you drop a lot of money on the wrong truck. When you finally do figure out which truck is right for you, before you go to a dealership, again, make sure you know exactly what that particular truck can handle towing, because a lot of the salespeople are not well versed in towing RVs with their trucks. So let me go over some of the reasons that we ended up with this Ford F250 to tow our ORV with. First and foremost, we didn't have much choice. We bought this during that period where diesels were in such high demand that you could barely find anything anywhere. I was looking for any of the big three because we could ask, would a Ram do better? Would a Chevy do better? To me, it didn't matter. I had no brand loyalty. I just wanted a truck that was capable and safe to pull our family all over the country. When we started looking for a truck, there were a few boxes that I absolutely had to check off. It had to be a diesel because we were going to do the mountain passes, and I wanted something reliable that could get me up and slow me down on the passes. I wanted an engine brake for the same reason, because we're going over mountain passes, and I wanted at least a 3/4 ton because our ORV weighs 8,000 when it's full. I wanted a 3/4 or full ton, knowing they had heavy duty brakes, because you never know when the trailer brakes are going to fail, and you want to have enough stopping power under that circumstance. Again, the margin of safety is really important when you're towing, especially when your family is in the truck with you. So we're searching, and I wanted it to be local and convenient. And sure enough, this guy pops up on one of the lots right across the street, and we go in, make our offer, and nab it. So ultimately, we ended up with an F250.
This particular F250 just happens to be a Lariat, which has been a huge benefit for those long travel days. It is super comfortable.
Work like trucks and ride like cars with a new level of interior luxury.
So just how much weight can we tow with our F250? This is easy information to figure out. All you have to do is open the driver's door. You've got two stickers here. One's going to give you your GVWR, which is the maximum amount of weight that that vehicle can handle.
I'm confused.
Let's go over some important lingo involved with towing. Your most important number is your GVWR. Now that is the total amount of weight that your truck can hold, including the truck itself, all fluids, all people, all cargo, and zoo animals that you keep in the back. And also keep in mind your GAWR, which is your gross axle weight rating. Now that's the maximum amount of weight that each axle can hold. And your GCWR, that's the gross combined weight of the trailer and the truck. And you have to look at the trailer's maximum weight and the truck's maximum weight and combine those. That cannot exceed the number that the manufacturer's chart puts out for your particular truck. And I think one of the more important ones is your tongue weight. And that is a portion of the weight from the trailer that is pushing down on the hitch of the truck. And you need to know this because that particular number, and it's usually 10 to 15% for safety margins, of the trailer's weight, that needs to be deducted from your GVWR on your truck. In case I misspeak or leave anything out, I'll make sure to post a corresponding article with this video, and you can find that at resetyourjourney.com under blogs. So this sticker tells me that the max weight I can carry as far as cargo is 2,163 pounds. Now I have to combine the tongue weight from the trailer into this. So I know that the trailer completely filled is close to 8,000 pounds. So to cover the margin of error, I'm just going to say 8,000. And I know that tongue weights are, to figure this out, you really need to have both weighed and then separately weighed. But you can guesstimate this. So 5 to 10%, generally speaking, is the tongue weight on the hitch. So if we've got an 8,000 pound trailer, I'm going to factor it as 800 pounds. Now I've roughly calculated that we have 900 pounds between the cargo and the back of this truck, and all of us lovely people and all of our gear up in here. So if we know we've got 900 pounds total between here and what I've got back here in the back of the truck, let's call it 1,000 pounds just for the safety. If I can put 2,163 pounds into this truck based on what it came out of the factory from, and I only have 1,800 pounds between the tongue weight and the cargo, I'm in good shape. Not only do I tow all the time with our F250, I gotta deal with this thing all the time too, because we're a full-time family who travels all over the country. Check out some of our other adventures where we see some really beautiful places. So this thing, there was another factor I was hoping to get with this. I knew that we were gonna be on BLM land and US forest roads, and we were gonna get stuck on occasion. So I wanted something where I could lock the differential and I had four-wheel drive on the fly with easy access. And you know what? We've used it 3 times already from being stuck with the trailer attached sometimes, and it has worked. So I am so glad I found one that is off-road capable. So when I found the truck, it had a set of Michelins on it. And that's great because I believe in using a tire that is well equipped for what you do most of the time, and that's highway driving. But turns out we spent a lot of time on dirt roads and BLM land and forest roads that got muddy, were sharp rocks, so I wanted something that was a little bit beefier. So we just picked up a set of GCWR RTX. It's a Cooper tire. I didn't research it. It was what was available and was suggested to me for what we do. And it turns out it works great. We've got about 15,000 miles on it, and we were able to get out of a few sticky situations with these tires. So I'm glad I upgraded to this. Normally, I wouldn't do this. I also wanted a diesel brake to help with the steep grades that I knew we would be going down. And a note of caution on this particular one on Ford, read the manual. I thought I knew what I was doing and it was just a push of a button. It's a little more complicated than that. So read the manual and understand what you're doing before you use it. The other thing I wanted was a trailer brake that I could use in case we were fishtailing or there was some kind of sway that was a little bothersome. I could just apply a little bit of trailer brake and it would stop that in its tracks. Since I was looking for a used truck, I was really hoping that it had some kind of a cover on it. It could be a full cap or it could have been a tonneau cover that was easy and secure. I feel like I kind of won the lottery with this one because this one just happened to have a Diamondback Tonneau cover on it.
Sweet. Totally.
And this thing is awesome. I knew nothing about it when we bought it. I just saw it on there. I'm like, wow, that's cool. But now that we've had full use of this thing for over a year, I can't tell you how secure and how well built this tonneau cover is. And I didn't realize how much I would need that kind of security because we're staying on BLM land. We keep so many of our, the things that we use on a daily basis in the back of this truck. So I wanted to make sure that A, it was solid and secure, and B, it had some versatility. Yes, we can lash things to the top of this thing. We never have, but I know we can. It's also strong enough that all 4 of us can stand on this thing with no problem. And we found ourselves standing on this to see things that are high up and far away frequently. It's kind of cool. And you know what else these work great for? When your towels are wet. You hang them off of these things and they dry quickly. We found ourselves hanging towels constantly off of this thing. Again, we got lucky because this one also came with the add-on toolbox or tool tray that Diamondback produces. It's aluminum, it's heavy duty, it slides back and forth easily so that I can fit things in here and then close it up. It is a handy, useful addition to Diamondback. So after all of this travel that we've done in this truck, we absolutely love it. And I'm really, really happy that we ended up finding this particular one because I think it has suited us well. But if I could do it over again, knowing everything I know now, I would have gotten an F350 or held out for one instead because I feel like as great as this tows, the capacity is maxed pretty soon. We've talked frequently about growing into a larger trailer or even a 5th wheel, and the 250 just isn't going to do that. If you're on the fence or you're in a position where you're just now searching for the right truck and the right trailer, and it could be an F250 or an F350, do the F350. Do a full ton, no matter what brand you go with, so that you have that room to grow into a bigger trailer, or you're just completely over-engineered and you're very safe no matter what you do because you've got all of the capacities under control. I know how confusing it can be when you're shopping for the right truck for a travel trailer or a fifth wheel. So I hope that our experience over the last year of towing with this F250 has given you some insight and helps you decide on the right tow vehicle. We're also a full-time family who lives in our RV, and we travel all over the country and live almost entirely on BLM land and national forest roads. Follow us along and check out some of our great adventures that we love to share with you.